हरि जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधरी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधरी यशोदानंद ब्रज जनरंजन दन दन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीर वनचरी यमुना तीर वनचरी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितानेन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरद्विषे नमः आराध्यो भगवान् ब्रजेशतनय तद्धाम वृन्दावनं रम्या काचिदुपासना व्रजवधुवर्गेण या कल्पिता श्रीमद्भागवतं प्रमाणममलं प्रेम पुमार्थो महान् श्रीचैतन्य महाप्रभोर्मतमिदं तत्रादरो न परः नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Shri Krishna Balarama ki jai, Mantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, all glories to the assembled devotees, Lord Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Where is the Bhagavatam? Okay. I welcome once again. Well, we just had a class. His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki, and this is a continuation, I suppose. So, those who continue to attend this morning's class, I welcome you all. I'm very happy for your presence here. And thank you for this opportunity to be with you, to talk to you, hope and pray. I hope, I pray you also pray that I say something worthwhile. Okay. So reading from Canto 10th, chapter 72, text number 14, 15, and 16. 15, 16, 17. Okay. So 15th, 16th has no purport, and there's a short purport to the 17th verse. So, and then we'll try to say a few words. So 15th. So I will say this myself first. Shrutva jitam jarasandham drapater dhyayato hari ahopayam Tamevadya Uddhavo Yamuvacha. Translation. When King Yudhishthira heard that Jarasandha remained undefeated, he said to pondering, and then the primeval Lord, Hari, told him the means Uddhava had described for defeating Jarasandha. Oops, sorry. You got it, right? Krishna was told by Uddhava how Jarasandha could be defeated. Looks like Krishna could not figure it out himself. And in fact, he took advice or the consultation from Uddhava, and Uddhava advised. I think we'll talk about this in a minute. And of course, this is Rajasuya yagya, and you know all about that. And we have reached this point in the history. Rajasuya yagya is being organized, and Krishna has strongly recommended or endorsed, yes, go ahead. But you need a lot of Lakshmi for Rajasuya yagya. Yagyas are not a cheap affair. Sankirtan yagya is free. Sankirtan yagya is free. That's the beauty of this Sankirtan yagya. Other yagyas, lots of riches, wealth. All the four brothers of Yudhishthira, he had dispatched them in all four directions to collect wealth. Probably Arjun collected more than, I don't know, I'm just saying. That's why he gets the name Dhananjaya. You heard the name? Dhananjaya. Dhan and Dhananjaya. The collector is a good fundraiser. This Arjun. You need funds? Of course, you could send your colleagues around. And they were going to perform, that's another thing, Rajasuya yagya. Just note the name, Rajasuya yagya. This is king of all the yajnas. Like Raja Vidya, king of knowledge, like that, Raj. It's a Rajasuya yajna. It's a matchless, the best, the top-notch yagya. And hence it is also very, very expensive. So they are preparing, and part of the preparation also was to, okay, I will say that later. Bhimasena, okay, 16th verse. Bhimasena Arjuna Krishno Brahmalinga Dharastraya Jagmurgi Vrata Brahadratha Suto Yataha. Translation again, or translation of this verse. Thus, Bhimsen, Arjuna, and Krishna disguised themselves as Brahmanas and went to Girivraj, my dear king, where the son of Ratha was to be found. This Ratha is Jarasandha. In Magad, kingdom of Magad, where Banaras, Bihar, that's Magad. So Krishna, Balaram, and not Krishna, Balaram, Krishna, Bhim, and Arjuna, they went to this place. Idea is to kill him. He was not surrendering unto Yudhishthira Maharaj. Okay, we'll talk. I will read this myself again. This verse, just to save a little minute or two. Te gatva thitya velayam griheshu grihamedhinam brahmanyam samaya cheran arajanya brahmalinginaha. They gatva, going, atithya, for receiving uninvited guests, velayam, at the appointed hour, griheshu, in his residence, grihamedhinam, from the religious householder, brahmanyam, respectful to the brahmanas, samayachiran, begged, rajanya, the kings, brahmalingi, linginaha, appearing with the signs of brahmanas. Translation and purport. Well, this purport is by Prabhupada. Or the compilers, authors, Prabhupada disciples have quoted Prabhupada in the purport. And that's all the purport. So translation, distinguished as brahmanas, the royal warriors approached. Huh? Oh, disguised. Okay. There's a big difference. Disguised as a brahmana, the royal warriors approached Jarasandha at home during the appointed hour for receiving guests. They submitted their entreaty to that dutiful householder who was specially respectful to the Brahminical class. Jarasandha was respectful to the Brahminical class. Purport. Srila Prabhupada writes, King Jarasandha was very dutiful householder, and he had great respect for the Brahmanas. He was a great fighter, a Kshatriya king, but he was never neglectful of the Vedic injunctions. According to the Vedic injunctions, the Brahmanas are considered to be the spiritual masters of all other castes. Lord Krishna, Arjuna, and Bhimsen were actually Kshatriyas, but they dressed themselves as the Brahmanas. Brahmanas. And at the time when King Jarasandha was to give charity to the Brahmanas and receive them as guests, they approached him. Mahaprasade Govinde. No, today's Ekadasi. So Krishna has approved the proposal of Yudhishthira Maharaj of the conducting Rajasuya yagya. Is happening in Hastinapur or Indraprastha? Quickly. Yeah? Any conclusion? Sorry.
I think Indraprastha.
Indraprastha. Okay, we'll take your word.
No one else said it.
So, and then they were preparing for getting ready for the Rajasuya yagya. So, in the meantime, the Lord was back in Dwarka. And, first he had received invitation, of course, to Rajasuya yagya. So, Lord, you will be presiding over the function, and we would like to offer Agra Puja to you. You would be the first one that we would like to worship. In fact, this was the intention of Yudhishthira Maharaj to glorify Lord Sri Krishna. Not that everyone accepts you, so many they dislike you, you don't act. So, through the medium of this Rajasuya yagya, we want to establish your supremacy and your popularity, etc. This was the main intention of Yudhishthira Maharaj behind performance of Rajasuya yagya. But of course, Yudhishthira Maharaj is also to be established as the emperor, Samrat of the world. And that is done if all the kings everywhere, they bow down, and they all bow down to Yudhishthira Maharaj. They accept the supremacy of Yudhishthira Maharaj. He's going to be the king of the kings. So the team is going all around, and all kings accepted subjugation or supremacy of Yudhishthira Maharaj, but one person, one king, Jarasandha. No, I don't accept this. He was the one we just read. He would not accept the defeat. Those who oppose to the proposal that Yudhishthira Maharaj is the king of the kings, he is the emperor. Those who don't accept, then there's a fight. So they had, wherever necessary, the fighting had happened, and all those who were, they were all defeated, but then the Jarasandha was not willing. And then in the meantime, there was a communication, and we could also say appeal from this Jarasandha. He had imprisoned many kings. So they all got together and they wanted, of course, to be liberated, freed from the imprisonment of Jarasandha. And they sent their communication appeal to Dwarka, to Sri Krishna. Help! Get us out of here, get us out of this prison. So Krishna was kind of bewildered. He did not know Rajasuya yagya was to be performed, and he had even sanctioned performance of Rajasuya yagya. But then this Jarasandha is not accepting the supremacy of Yudhishthira Maharaj, and he has imprisoned, I don't know how, thousands of kings. And they are appealing for independence from the clutches of Jarasandha. So Krishna was wondering, now what to do? So as he was taking advice, he's taking advice from Uddhava. Jai Uddhava. Uddhava's advice, no. My dear Lord, you could neither participate in yagya, Rajasuya yagya, nor Rajasuya, the Yudhishthira Maharaj has right to perform this Rajasuya yagya until Jarasandha is defeated or, if necessary, killed. So all those kings were in fact inviting those who were in the prison, inviting Krishna to please come and get us out of here. Please free us from this prison house. So Krishna was wondering which one to be done first. And Uddhava's advice was, no, Rajasuya cannot be performed until this fellow, this Jarasandha, is wiped out or get rid of or get him out of the way. So Lord, you have to go to Magad Desh first and kill or get rid of, and then you could go to Hastinapur. Not Hastinapur first and then, no. So this priority also was given or established by Uddhava. Anyway, as I was reading this Uddhava's intervention, our Lord taking advice from Uddhava, how to proceed with this matter now, which one is a priority, which one goes first. I just started thinking more about Uddhava and Uddhava's, okay, I need a mic. Are you going to show something? Oh, Jarasandha.
Just block the camera. Can't see you.
See me. Well, this will be just in between for a short while. And yeah, this one. How about that? Is that okay? Well, hearing is seeing here. For that, you'll have to keep your eyes open. Well, ears and eyes open. How does this open now? Okay, so you're seeing this. So, so this Uddhava should just go down, right? So Uddhava is quite a personality, quite a character, is a very unique position. He is described as Vrishninam Pravaro Mantri Krishnasya Daita Sakha Sishyo Brahaspate Sakshad Uddhavo Buddhi Sattamaha. Vrishninam, including Krishna's, is a mantri, is a minister, is a advisor. Krishna Shadaita Sakha, and he's a friend of Krishna. We'll talk more. Not only a friend, he's much more, he's many more things. Yeah? And not just, Arjuna is also Sakha, but he is a different kind of Sakha, this Uddhava. The relationship between Arjuna, the Uddhava and Krishna is very, very intimate and confidential, even superior to that of Arjuna. Shishyaho Brahaspate Sakshat is a disciple of Brahaspati. Brahaspati is a spiritual master of demigods, and Uddhava is also one of the disciples along with demigods. And Uddhava Buddhi Sattamaha, he is very, very intelligent personality. Uddhava. Udhunoti dukkham iti Uddhavaha. One who removes, eradicates, wipes out dukkha, suffering of others. Hence, he gets the name Uddhava. Vidhunoti. Vidhunoti, you know the word. Surit Sadam. Dukkham. Vidhunoti dukkham. That is why he is Uddhava. He is also called Uddhava because where there is Uddhava, there is a Utsav. You know the Utsav. There's a festival, or there's a Shravanotsav, or there's a Utsav. And there's a Shravanotsav, then the dancing and this and that also happens, which is in festival. What kind of festival if there's no dancing and singing and if there's no feast at the end? So all this happens wherever there's a Uddhava. And he's addressing Pravaraha Tena Vraja Jananamapi Santvane Samarthyam. He's competent to pacify Brajajanas, Brajajana Ranjana. That's Krishna, Brajajana Ranjana. Uddhava is Santvane Samarthyam Brajajananam Pravaraha. That is Uddhava. And we will take a few I need Uddhava's help. Suffering here. Sakha asankocha premna datta sakhya padavi. when he deals with Krishna, there is no sankoch. Those who know Hindi, Sanskrit, they know sankoch. There is no sankoch. There is no hesitation. There is no reluctance. There is no reservation. He just wholeheartedly, deals, reciprocates with Krishna. In Sakhya Padavi, in Bhaktosi me sakha jayati tadahi rasha uttamam. Krishna said that to Arjuna, you are my bhakta and sakha. And Uddhava is also bhakta and sakha, but sakha of another caliber. It's called Vishrambha Sakhya. Vishrambha Sakhya. Vishrambha. And all the sakhas of Vrindavan, they are in this Sakhya bhav, Vishrambha Sakhya. They say, Tum kaun bada log, tumi ami sam. Who do you think you are? You, we are equals. Tumi ami sam, this is Bengali. Tumi ami sam, tum kaun bada log. So, Arjun cannot talk this kind of language. He has a friendship, but there's a lot of awe and reverence and all this vaibhav of Krishna's opulences are remembered. So at Vaikuntha level or Dwarka level or Hastinapur level, friendship is different from the friendship of Brajajanas or Mathuravasis or especially Brajavasis. So that kind of friendship Uddhava enjoys. Sri Bhagavata iva sat gunaha darshitaha. And this Uddhava, he exhibits, well, not to all the top extent, but to good extent, Krishnena gunarupa vaya adau samyam. The similarity between Krishna and Uddhava in many regards, qualities, the form, age, etc. Even he looks, I think it's coming out. He looks just like Krishna. He looks just like Krishna. Maybe there are a few others also. They look like Krishna, but he is hubahu, as they say. He just looks like Krishna. That here you could say, who is this one? You'll have to spend maybe a few seconds to. Is this Krishna or this is someone else or this is Uddhava? This is Uddhava. That's why when Uddhava carried, the Uddhava Baitak near Nandagram, and Buddha was sent with message of Krishna to be delivered so that, and he was considered competent. Well, they want me to come and see them. Well, I can't go, and there are various reasons. But then who could go in my place? Krishna is thinking and thinking and thinking, and he comes to, that one. Uddhava could deliver the goods, or he could do the job. In my place, he could go. Even he looks like me, and he's very intelligent and whatnot. He could represent me, and he's competent to pacify Santvana of Brajajanas. My parents, he could pacify. My friends, he could pacify. gopis and Radharani, he could pacify. So as the meeting is taking place, or in fact Uddhava is coming on the scene where gopis have assembled and they are expecting Uddhava to. And then as they see him coming, he is still at some distance. Tam viksha Krishna anucharam. Krishna anuchar, again is described. Krishna anuchar. Follower of Krishna. Krishna anucharaha. Viksha, as they saw, Brajastriya, the gopis saw, and as they saw, how did he look like? Pralamba bahum. His arms are long. Ajanulambita bhujo, you know that. This is Lord's speciality, Lord's form speciality. His arms are as long, how long? They reach the knees. Well, you're also reaching. Huh? But if you stand up, then you'll have to do this and that to reach. Pralamba bahum navakanja lochanam. Lotus-eyed. Pitambaram. They are looking at the approaching or arriving Uddhava, and this is what they are seeing. Pitambaram. Pushkara malinam. And he has a garland of lotus flowers. Lasan mukharavindam. And parimrishta kundalam. The complexion of his form is Sham Sundar, you could see. He's a Shamal. And if you touch his body, it would be Komal, Shamala Komalango. And Pitambaram. So he's like that. When in fact, Krishna said this about Uddhava. Na Uddhavo anvapi mat nyuno. Listen to this, don't miss this. Krishna said, Uddhava is no less than myself. How much less? Anu api, anu. What is anu? Atom size, which is the very smallest size, right? But his atom is so small that you could only see through microscope. Means nothing at all. Almost has no size or existence. Even that much difference doesn't exist between myself and Uddhava. Krishna said, Na Uddhavo anvapi mat nyunam. Less than me? No. How much? Not even anu, atom. Not even an atom size. He is less than myself. This is in third canto, as Uddhava is addressing Vidur in that prasanga, in that episode. This statement comes up. Haridasa Varyaha. You know, Haridasa Varyaha, Gopis said about Giriraj, Dharanadhi. Antayam Adriyabala Haridasa Varyaha. This Giriraj Govardhan is Haridas' topmost servant. Anyway, And then in that list there are two more names added by acharyas. Yudhishthira Maharaj is another Haridasa Variya mentioned. And the other one is who? Must be who, as we're talking. Uddhava. Uddhava is considered another Haridasa Varya. Well, this topic list is here. I could. Uddhava Gita. Well, Lord was on the planet for 125 years. Now his mission is kind of complete. Paritranaya santuna vinashaya dharma samsa. Okay. Here I go. He's preparing to leave. Krishna said, Swadhamo Bhagate. When Uddhava got to know that Krishna is getting ready to leave. In fact, Krishna had been sharing this thought and his departure plans with others, and somehow he was keeping Uddhava out of that circle or that group. But Uddhava, things cannot be hidden from Uddhava. He found out. And no, my dear Lord, there's a statement. I had to go. Me too, I had to go with you. I cannot stay behind even for a moment. I cannot be separated from you. I have to go. Please bring me along with you. And then Krishna had to pacify. Well, he also said, okay. I will stay. How will you stay? I will stay in what form? In the form of Bhagavatam, I will say. In the form of Bhagavatam, I will stay. I will stay in this world. Continue to stay. Krishna Swadhamo Bhagate Dharma Jnanadibhissa. Then Purana Arka Uditaha. Brilliant as sun, the Bhagavatam. Lord disappears and Bhagavatam appears on the scene. Kalo Nashtadrasham Esham. Because now, as soon as Krishna departed, that's the last day of Krishna on the planet, becomes the first day of the age of Kali. Kali Rayataha. And what does Kali do? Nashtadrasham Esham. Going to make the world blind and full of ignorance, and that's why Lord is going to stay in the form of Bhagavatam. So Lord told, I will stay in the form of Bhagavatam. But you also have to stay behind. And then, at that time, in fact, when this dialogue was on, to further pacify Uddhava, Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita. But it's not Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is what? Song of God is Bhagavad Gita. But this Gita is, what is the name? Uddhava Gita. Just see, and Lord has given, okay, this is, I put a stamp on this Gita. This is your Gita. This is Uddhava Gita. Lord has further glorified Uddhava. And the other Gita is part of Mahabharata. one Parva Mahabharat, 18 chapters. But this Uddhava Gita is part of Bhagavatam, which is a graduate study. So this is a higher education. This Gita, Uddhava Gita, is higher and deeper than Bhagavad Gita. It's more confidential. Because such is the relationship also between Krishna and Uddhava. Bhaktosi me Sakha. Is a greater, bigger bhakta and Sakha of highest order. Then Krishna reciprocates accordingly, and he did that in the form of Uddhava Gita. Sakshat Haritvena Samas, and this way, now he is going to be playing the role of Sakshat Hari. He's staying behind and he's going to be playing the role of Sakshat Haritvena. So he had pacified gopis and brajavasis one time. I will have to say everything quickly, right? Suppose. Are you hungry? What could you do? There's no prasad. Then are you angry? Because there's no prasad, or I'm just going on and on. From anger. Kamat krodho vijayate. When something is not satisfied, some calm, some desire, then krodho. It's okay, I say a little more? I know you have no prasad, there are lots of things to do for you. But we could talk a little more about Uddhava also, a little bit, let's see. And those who wish to go or have to go, feel free to go join your services, attend your service. So, after Krishna's departure, the queens of Dwarka, now we cannot get, the whole narration cannot happen. Krishna had asked or sent such message that Arjuna should protect my queens. And then he took charge of those queens and brought them to Hastinapur, no, Indraprastha, yes, Indraprastha. In fact, Krishna said, bring them to Indraprastha. So he did so, and on the way there are difficulties also, encountered some attack, and those details are there. And then the Pandavas retire. This is timely. Arjuna is returning after a long time, 7 months or so. Anyway, these are the details. And when he broke the news, as Kunti heard that Krishna is no more, on the spot, she departed. She did not even take a step this way or that way. Wherever she stood or sat, I'm not sure. But when she heard Krishna is no more, that's it. She left. And then Pandavas also, they retire. And that's the time King Parikshit was given the throne. He was installed as emperor of the world. Hastinapur was the capital. And Vajranath, great grandson of Krishna, he was made a king of Mathura Mandal, Mathura and Vrindavan. Vajranath was the king. And those queens who they had ended up, or they were brought to Hastinapur, when Pandavas, they left, they retired, they went to Badrikashram and onwards, beyond. Then all those queens, they come to Mathura. And now Vajranath was taking care of them. At one point, King Parikshit, he was visiting Mathura just to check out how his, I don't want to say, you could imagine, purpose of the visit. How is Parikshit doing, how is Vajranath doing, and especially how are the queens of the Lord. Anyway, these are the details. So he found out that the queens were not happy at all for main reason that they were missing Krishna like anything. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? They were expecting Krishna in Vrindavan or to be seen by them in Vrindavan, but that was not becoming possible. So Vajranath and King Parikshit, they go to Shandilya Muni to consult. How could these queens be pacified, satisfied, or they could feel at home here in Mathura Mandal? And his advice was, I will not say, what he has said is lots of tattva and siddhant he has given. This is in Padma Puran, Srimad Skanda Puran, Srimad Bhagavat Mahatmya, the greatness of Srimad Bhagavatam, Skanda Puran. There are 4 or 5 chapters. So one thing he said is noteworthy. He said, those who are, note this, those part of the Prakat Leela or manifest Leela or Vyavaharik Leela, different terms are there, they have no access to Krishna's Aprakat Leela or Nitya Leela. While the queens were here and King Parikshit and Vajranath are here, others are also here, but they were part of the Leela, Prakat Leela. And Nitya Leela, of course, was on. Eternal pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan were on. Krishna was here, everything is on. But Shandilya Rishi says the reason they are not seeing, no darshan, no access, is this, that persons of the Prakat Leela have no access to the Nitya Leela pastimes. And so what to do? And he suggested, Uddhava, who was in fact asked after Uddhava Gita gets over, at the end of the 11th canto of Bhagavatam, then Krishna said to Uddhava, go where he should go? Go to, this is also there. It's a beautiful, you see this? Krishna is getting ready to depart. This is in Gujarat, Somnath. You know Somnath? You heard of Somnath? Just few kilometers, just next to Somnath is this place. Kya naam hai? What's the name? Huh? Vrindavan or any other? Bhalka Tirth, Bhalka. Prabhas Kshetra, exactly. Okay, that's a more popular, or from the Shastric name, Prabhas Kshetra. So Lord is in Prabhas Kshetra, and you could, like this is described in Bhagavatam, how he was sitting, and he was, the banyan tree is leaning, excuse me. And there comes, the last two persons Lord met are Uddhava and Maitreya Muni. These are the last two persons Lord met before his departure. Balaram had just now departed earlier, and because he was the first one to appear, so he also becomes the first one to depart. And next was Krishna to appear, so next is Krishna departing, and here you go. Uddhava and Maitreya Muni are there. And this is the last audience, last darshan of Lord to these two great personalities. And from there they travel. And Uddhava had met Vidura in Vrindavan. And Maitreya Muni had also met Vidura in Haridwar. Excuse me. So, what I wanted to show you was Krishna empowered Uddhava. And okay. So here, after Gita, Uddhava Gita recitation, Arjun, the Uddhava, who was not kind of willing to stay behind, Krishna goes back to home, back to Golok, and he had to stay behind. But he was, after hearing Bhagavad Gita, not Bhagavad Gita, Uddhava Gita, he is pacified and is willing to stay behind. And he says, Shadhi Mam, same word. Arjun had said that in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Shadhi, please instruct me, I am soul surrendered unto you. The same, in similar words, Uddhava also says in Bhagavatam, towards the end of this Uddhava Gita, that please instruct me. And then Krishna's instruction is, therefore Arjuna's instruction is, fight. Tasma sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmara yudhyacha. You fight. And that was his dharma. And that was the instruction of Krishna to Arjuna. And to Uddhava, the instruction is, Gacha Uddhava maya adishto Adaryakyam mamashramam. There is my ashram. There is my ashram. What is that ashram? Badrika ashram is my ashram. I stay there as Badrinath. And you go there and you stay there. This is instruction given to Uddhava by Lord himself. But then Uddhava had chosen also to stay in Vrindavan, Dhamaki. And he stays in, there's a Uddhava Kund, one of the very famous Kund in Braj Mandal, or on the Parikrama, Govardhan Parikrama Marg is a Uddhava Kund. One side is Uddhav Kund and the other side is Sarovar, Kusum Sarovar. Next to Kusum Sarovar, well, that means a lot of things. So Uddhav preferred to stay on the banks of Kusum Sarovar in the form of creepers and not trees, but purposely. It is mentioned, and I'm saying, as a grass, as a creepers, shrubs, bushes, with the idea or the aim or the hope of getting dust of gopis, Radharani's lotus feet. Because that is one spot where all the gopis every day, you come there every day for Kusum Sarovar. This Sarovar is called Kusum. Kusum means flowers. There's lots of flowers there, varieties of flowers, colorful flowers, very fragrant flowers and whatnot. They could also make Vaijayanti Mala out of those flowers. Vaijayanti Mala means 5 different kinds of flowers in a garland. 5 different colors of flowers have to be there so that the mala becomes Vaijayanti Mala. So they could also do Vaijayanti Mala from the flowers on banks of Kusum Sarovar. So Uddhava would like to get a dust of gopis, Radha and his feet there, so he's residing there. So so Shandilya Rishi had advice, and then in the Skanda Puran, Yamuna also strongly recommended all these queens of Lord who are missing the Lord, they're not seeing the Lord, they're kind of lost. They should all be taken to the banks of this, Kusum Sarovar, and they should perform Sankirtan. And as soon as there is performance of Sankirtan, Uddhava will appear. So that is what Parikshit Maharaj and who's the other one? Vajranav. They did that, and there's a Sankirtan performance, and to their great surprise and pleasure, they saw Uddhava appearing there in person. He's there in the form of creepers and grass and bushes, so he becomes Uddhava, Murtimant, personified Uddhava, in person Uddhava. And Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Well, before that, then Katha becomes longer. That he said, you Parikshit, get up. Okay. And you go all around, go all over to maintain the law and order while we are doing Katha here, Bhagavad Katha. Oh, I also would like to hear, but you know this, when is this Katha happening? Soon after. Maybe a few weeks or a few months after Krishna's departure, first ever kind of unofficially, Bhagavad Katha is taking place. And Uddhava is a speaker, and he's the King Parikshit. What about me? For you, there will be a very special session in the future. Maybe in about 30 years from now. When Sukadeva Goswami spoke Bhagavatam on the banks of Ganga, the Kali Yuga was 30 years old. So he was assured that he will get to hear Bhagavatam from Sukadeva Goswami himself. This was predicted by Uddhava. So, well, happily kind of, King Parikshit goes and maintains law and order, and then Bhagavad recitation by Uddhava begins, which lasted for 1 month. There's a Uddhava Baitak also, another Baitak on Kusum Sarovar, just on the banks of Kusum Sarovar. You know, and what amazing thing, well, of course, everything is amazing, that as all of them were listening to Bhagavad Katha recited by Uddhava himself, who was a witness of those and participant of those kathas or leelas. He was part of those leelas. So he's experiencing his own, well, what he had seen and realized, and that was his first-hand experience of those leelas and those pastimes. And as queens heard that, or they went on hearing, what was happening was, one by one, like this Prabhu is offering obeisances. So they were offering obeisances and getting up and going. Where? They were entering Krishna's eternal pastimes. By hearing Uddhava, and this is what we say, right? Hearing is seeing. Through those narrations, Uddhava was in fact showing Krishna and his pastimes, and your spot is here, and you, queen, you belong to this place, and this is in Nitya Leela, this is whatever, there are different 11 items. Your form, your complexion, your color of your clothing, your service, your mood, this, that. Everything was realized by all those queens. Again, anyway, I shouldn't say that they had forgotten, but certainly it was revived by Uddhava. And so in the batches of 100 and then 1,000 and thousands were getting up and joining Krishna's eternal pastimes, and towards the end of this 1 month session was, well, it had to be 1 month because by that time there was no one left around except Vajranav. Only Vajranav was Vajranav. Hey, just us here. No one here. So they all, and everyone entered Lord's pastimes by hearing Bhagavatam. Excuse me, a recitation of Bhagavatam from Uddhava. So this is a competence of Uddhava. This is Uddhava. And this is a similar idea, in fact, similar idea. The reason why this is narrated in Bhagavad Mahatmya, the greatness of Bhagavatam, is the same purpose. Why do we or why even Prabhupada organized, or why does Bhagavatam say, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktira Bhavati Naimstiki. As we hear Bhagavatam, our bhakti is revived, and I wish that happened to the queens, happened in one sitting, right? In one sitting. At the end of one session of Bhagavatam, they were able to return to their respective services and locations, etc. So that is the idea. Behind recitation of Bhagavatam, Shranavanti, Gayanti, Krananti, Sadhavaha. So go on and on and on. So this is This is a primary devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, and then what happens? Vishnu Smaranam, Smaran. Krishna is remembered. Krishna is remembered. As after Smaranam, there has to be what? No, that's there also, but there's a mananam, and then nididhyasam. You have to dwell, you have to contemplate on what you have heard. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Bring those topics to your mind again, or review, recollect, contemplate. This is called mananam. And nididhyasam. Make that smaranam, mananam more concentrated. And that means remembrance, more remembrance, intense remembrance. Remembering the details of it, minute details, remembering, and retention, of course. Dhyanam, leading to samadhi or leading. Okay, thank you. What happened? It's okay? God Premanande, Hari Hari Lord.